Hi everybody. Mass genocide of Mohawk children by UK Queen and Vatican uncovered in Canada. That's right, folks. Mass graves. Brantford, Ontario. Mass graves of Mohawk children have been uncovered by ground-penetrating radar at the Mohawk Institute, a residential school for Mohawk operated by the Church of England and the Vatican before its closure in 1970. According to Reverend Kevin Annett, Secretary of the International Tribunal for Crimes of Church and States, the Mohawk Institute was set up by the Anglican Church in England in 1832 to imprison and destroy generations of Mohawk children. This very First Nations residential school in Canada lasted until 1970, and like in most residential schools, more than half of the children imprisoned there were never returned. Many of them are buried all around the school. Preliminary scanning by ground-penetrating radar adjacent to the now closed main building, Mohawk Institute, has revealed that between 15 to 20 feet of soil was brought in and put over the mass graves just before the Mohawk Institute closed in 1970 in order to camouflage the mass graves of Mohawk children and avoid prosecution for genocide and crimes against humanity under the Geneva Conventions, the International Criminal Court, and cooperating national courts. International Tribunal for Crimes of Church and State is expected to commence judicial proceedings starting in late October 2011 in Brussels, Belgium, and Dublin, Ireland, for child genocide crimes against humanity against defendants Elizabeth Windsor, head of State of Canada and head of the Church of England, and Pope Joseph Ratzinger, both of whom knowingly participated in the planning and cover-up of the child genocide, according to forensic evidence. The tribunal sessions were originally to have been held in London, UK. However, the UK government has denied entrance to the Secretary and major jurists and staff of the International Tribunal for Crimes of Church and State without cause. The discovery of the mass graves of Mohawk children uncovered by ground-penetrating radar at the Mohawk Institute comes on the heels of videotaped evidence by eyewitness William Coombs, who in 1964 witnessed Elizabeth Windsor, as head of State of Canada and head of the Church of England, visit an Aboriginal school in Kamloops, British Columbia, choose 10 young Aboriginal children, make them kiss her feet, and allegedly took them from the school for a picnic at the lake. The 10 Aboriginal children were never seen again. Mr. Coombs, who was to give evidence at the International Tribunal for Crimes of Church and State of Elizabeth Windsor's child genocide, was murdered in February 2011, and I made a video about that. He was murdered in the hospital in Vancouver. Anyhow, I'll continue reading. Fortunately, oh thank goodness, Mr. Coombs' testimony was videotaped before his death and is available for the tribunal. Reverend Kevin Annett states that instruments of torture, such as a rack for torturing the Mohawk children in ritual torture, have been found. At the now closed Mohawk Institute, witnesses from the Mohawk community have stated they witnessed priests in red robes torturing children in ritual torture. Reverend Annette made these revelations in an exclusive October 7, 2011 interview with Alfred Lambremont Weber. In the interview, Reverend Annette acknowledges the close parallels between the October 1964 personal child genocide and possible ritual killings of 10 Aboriginal children by Elizabeth Windsor, head of state and head of the Church of England, and the child genocides occurring during the same period at the Mohawk Institute. These parallels suggest that Elizabeth Windsor, as head of state and head of the Church of England, was personally aware of, ordered, and participated in this systematic program of genocide and ritual torture and killings at Church of England residential schools operated by the Church of England and the Vatican. In his interview, Reverend Kevin Annette stated that the mainstream Canadian media, as well as the Government of Canada, are maintaining a cover-up and media blackout of the discoveries of Mohawk child genocide at the Mohawk Institute. So everybody spread this video far and wide, and make sure that everybody in the world knows what has gone on, because the mainstream media is covering up this torture of innocent little children and murder. And the Queen knew all about it and participated in it. She is truly one of the most evil, evil, evil beings on this planet. And we need to tell everybody, and they need to be held accountable and punished. This is M from Canada 1. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll post a link to this website below.